Hey everyone, I hope you're all well. Today we've got an awesome video for you all. We're talking about the new Ryzen 3 series of CPUs by AMD, and I say we because this video is a collaboration between two channels, Chris from TechHow and me, Jay from TechSway. So let's hand the mic over to Chris and let's get us started.
Hey, what is going on you guys? So as Jay mentioned, we're going to be talking about Ryzen 3 today. So as you all know, my channel primarily focuses on budget PC builds, so I'm going to be getting into the raw gaming performance of the chips, and then I'm going to let Jay take it away for the rest. So for a while now, the Pentium G4560 has been the only real good budget CPU on the market. So I'd like to use that as a comparison in today's video for the lower end market, and I'm going to directly compare it against the Ryzen 3 1200. Now on the surface, these two CPUs perform practically identical, but as you delve more into it, the Ryzen 3 actually really sets itself apart. Now unlike the Pentium, the Ryzen 3 1200 includes a way better stock cooler right out of the box, and that's important because it allows for overclocking. Now if you account for overclocking, the Ryzen 3 is actually significantly going to outperform the Pentium when it comes to terms of gaming, yielding anywhere from a couple all the way up to 20 FPS just depending on the title. So instead of the Pentium, if we take the closest price Intel offering, the Core i3 7100, which comes in at about $115, and you compare that to the Ryzen 3, you're still going to get noticeably higher frame rates with the Ryzen when it's overclocked, and then you have all the added benefits that Ryzen has, which is multitasking, streaming, editing, rendering. It's going to do pretty much every task faster and more efficient than the Intel offerings. So basically, you're getting a noticeable performance boost in pretty much every task, gaming, whatever you're working on, for the same exact price. When it comes to strictly gaming, the new budget CPU king is the Ryzen 3 1200 in my opinion. I personally would stay away from the 1300X if you're strictly gamer and that's all you're going to be doing with your PC. It's the best bang for your buck, and if you couple the 1200 with the Pentium series, those two are just going to cripple the i3 lineup completely, making them irrelevant. There's no reason to buy an i3 anymore at this point in time. They're just a waste. They should decrease the price now if they actually want to make any sales. Now, the reason the Ryzen 3 chips are able to set themselves apart so well is because that they have the addition of two more physical cores, so you're getting a true quad-core CPU with the Ryzen for the same price as Intel's offering, which is just a dual-core with hyper-threading. So now I'm going to let Jay take it away, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the streaming capabilities and multitasking capabilities of the Ryzen chips, because I'm more focused on the pure gaming aspect.
Hi guys, it's Jay from TechSway. I'm here today because like Chris, my channel is all about tech, and we are of course talking about AMD's new Ryzen 3 lineup. Now I think it's obvious that over the next few weeks we'll see many budget build videos on YouTube showing you how to get a great gaming rig for around the $500 price bracket. However, the Ryzen 3 isn't just a chipset designed purely for gaming, as the Ryzen 3 range has a 4-core and a 4-thread count, meaning that whether you're doing office work, playing games, or even streaming, you'll be getting great all-round performance. So much so that you'd probably mistake it for a much more costly PC if no one actually told you what's inside it, especially when you find out that the price range of the Ryzen 3 lineup is $110 to $130 or £100 to £125 here in the UK. So if you're looking at building a streaming rig, then I think it's safe to say that the Ryzen 3 range will be offering a better overall experience than anything Team Blue currently has to offer at this level. So for most streamers on a budget, I think most of you will end up looking at the following two CPUs, which are the Ryzen 3 1200 or the 1300X. Now if you don't want to move away from Team Blue, then the closest competitor to the 1300X will be the Intel Core i3 7300. Now in reality, if you were considering any of these CPUs for a budget-friendly streaming build, then I would recommend AMD over Intel all the time, especially as the AMD CPUs can be overclocked. Of course though, if your budget can actually be stretched, then I would actually recommend seeing if you can afford a CPU from the Ryzen 5 range, as you'll be getting double the number of thread counts. But of course, if that's not possible, then the Ryzen 3 range will still allow you to stream, especially if you're using a very well optimized game such as Overwatch. However, do be aware that the CPU hogging games such as Watch Dogs 2 or even similar games will be a struggle for the CPU. Now, when streaming with these AMD CPUs, you will be making use of all of its cores pretty much flat out, but it's in this scenario where surprisingly, the benchmarks I've actually seen of the Ryzen 3 1300X streaming Overwatch has almost been able to keep up with its pure gaming benchmarks. Now here's a quick example of the 1300X streaming Overwatch at 1080p 60 frames per second. Now as you'll see, it offers great performance on a very well optimized game, but there isn't really much AMD can do if your game that you're playing isn't very well optimized. As you can see, it offers great overall performance on an optimized game, and if I were considering an AMD CPU from the Ryzen 3 chipset for streaming, I would personally recommend the 1300X. If streaming isn't that important to you, and you're solely looking just for a gaming experience or even basic office work, then as Chris said, the Ryzen 3 1200 is the obvious choice to go for. So guys, that's it from me, Jay. I'm from TechHow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.